Hey y'all, it's Dan Favre here, Executive Director at Bike Easy. Excited to be back in New Orleans after a couple of weeks of learning about bicycling in Europe. I was a member of the bicycle study tour put on by People for Bikes in the Netherlands. We got to explore Den Bosch, Utrecht, and Amsterdam, learn all about the bicycling and the political situations that led to better bicycling, and of course get to experience the tremendous bicycle infrastructure and bicycle culture of the Netherlands. In Amsterdam, it's up to over 40% of trips are taken by bicycles, so that's a big shift from the 3.5% of trips taken by bicycle here in New Orleans. And it was really inspiring. One of the stories that stuck with me the most was just how they ended up becoming what they are today in terms of this beautiful bicycling paradise. And it wasn't always that way. After World War II, the Netherlands really committed to designing cities to accommodate people driving and accommodate automobiles. They were knocking down historic structures to expand the roadways so you could get more cars there. There were parking lots and public squares in the middle of these historic cities. And we saw a lot of imagery of what it looked like in the 50s and 60s, which is not at all what it looks like today. And that was because in the 70s there was a real political movement to shift to ensure that biking and walking and transit were an integral part of their mobility systems. And they really didn't like the danger that cars represented. There was actually one of the more documented uprising social movements was called Stop Child Murder, because people, kids were getting hit and killed by cars and people driving. And so through this prolonged political engagement, they managed to start to shift the policies. And so in the 70s, by the end of the 70s, they were, the country had committed to improving bicycling and making it safer for everyone, but it continued to take decades. And being there now and experiencing what it feels like to bike around with thousands of other people all around the streets of a busy city and feeling completely safe in doing so was really fantastic. But it also was really inspiring to know that it was a long game, and it took a lot of time, and specifically took political engagement and political activity. And so I'm really inspired to be back here now and working hard to push for complete streets policy updates and bikeway plans throughout the region here. And I encourage all of you to get involved as well. We've got some easy tasks that you can do on our website at bikeeasy.org, whether that's if you live in New Orleans, shooting off a petition to Mayor Cantrell to support her efforts as we can continuing to improve biking. Or if you're in Jefferson Parish, you can call your council member to make sure that they're paying attention and moving on a complete street and passing a complete streets policy. Because at the end of the day, one thing that I learned from the Netherlands is that it takes a grassroots movement. It takes lots of people getting behind the idea of improving bicycling, improving mobility, improving livability, and with that big group, with this movement, I know that we can get it done here in New Orleans as well, throughout the region. So please head to our website, bikeeasy.org, take action today, and I look forward to catching up with you next week.